Hello friends, today I am going to describe the complete SQL Server architecture and as well as the query flow. Let's start. As you can see in a diagram, the complete SQL Server is divided in two parts. The first one is a relation engine and the second one is a storage engine. Okay, so we'll describe the relation engine first, then we'll come to storage engine. Relation engine is separated into two parts. First is client side and the server side. Okay, and as you can see, the both side we have the SNI, SQL Server Network Interface, the client side and as well as the server side. Okay, so whenever a user write a query, it will be packed by SNI and send it to the server side through the through TDS format. Okay, and same like reverse, from the server to client, same through TDS format. Okay, what is this TDS? Will let you know. So basically, the TDS is a type of communication protocol. Okay, it's designed by Sybase and later it's taken by Microsoft. Okay, so TDS is now covered actually. So whenever a user is writing a query, it will be packed by SNI packages and send it to protocol layer through TDS. Okay, so we'll describe the protocol layer now. I will not go in deeply, just will let you know just keep in mind the by default SQL Server port is 1433. Okay, I'm not going to describe protocol layers deeply. Okay, so now a user written a query and it came to protocol layer as a TDS format. So in protocol layer, here the query will be encrypted and here you will get the actual SQL query. Okay, so now you got the query in a protocol layers. From there it will be go to command parser through language event. Okay, so in command parser there are two things. The command parser is going to check whether the query having any syntax or semantics error or not. If it is any kind of error, syntax or semantic error, it will not proceed the further. It will just revert back to the user from here itself. It will not proceed further. Okay, if it is no error, no any error, the query is it got passed. Okay, then it will create a query tree. Query tree is nothing, just an execution plan actually, and it will send to the query optimizer. Okay, what is the role of optimizer? The optimizer now it will choose the best query execution plan for that particular query. Okay, what will be the optimized plan for that particular query? The optimizer will choose it. Once optimizer done with their task, it will send to the query executor. Okay, now query came in query executor and query executor will simply execute the query and it will send to the access method. So now as you can see, the relation engine task is over for that particular query. Now query is in storage engine. So from access method, it will going to check the two things. It's very, very important. So access method is going to check the two things: whether that particular query is a select query or non-select query. Okay, So let's take example. If it is a select query, so it will not go to write a log in transaction log. Okay, it will not go to write. It will come to the buffer manager. Okay, and in buffer manager it will go to the plan cache. Okay, so now we'll describe the buffer manager bit. So buffer manager also having a temporary area called buffer pool. Okay, as you can see here. So buffer manager also having a temporary area, buffer pool, and in buffer pool we have a plan cache and data cache. There is a link between plan cache and data cache. So what is the use of this plan cache actually? Let's take example. The same query, same select query, some another user executed couple of hours back, and it's fetched the data from the data file and it's keep a plan in the plan cache. In this situation, now you are trying to find the same query, you are trying to execute the same query. Then in this case, you don't need to go to fetch the data from the data file. You can simply take the execution plan from the plan cache, and it will fetch the data from the data cache, and it will simply revert back to the user as the same TDS format. If a query is not available in a plan cache, then it will fetch the data from the data file. So here are two things actually. If a plan is available in a plan cache and it fetch the data from the data cache and it will revert back to the users, so there's no need to fetch the data from the data file. It's called the soft parsing. If that particular query required to fetch the data from the data file, that's called the hard parsing. There's so two types of parsing: soft parsing and hard parsing. If that query need to fetch the data from the data file, it's called hard parsing. If it doesn't require, if the execution plan already available in a plan cache, so that's called the soft parsing. Okay, so now the task is over for the select query. Okay, let's take example. If that particular query was not select query, it was something like update query. So how it will go to fetch the storage engine actually? Let me remove these lines actually. Okay, so let's take example. In access method, you got a DML query. Okay, like you got an update query. So now what will happen from the access method? So access method will check whether the query is a select or non-select. So in this case, we got a non-select query. So it will write a log in a transaction log. Okay, with the help of transaction manager. Okay, so in transaction manager also having a two components: log manager, log log manager, and lock log manager. So what is the work for log manager? So log, if the access method will send the log to transaction manager will send to the log manager will send to the transaction manager, and it will assign a LSN, log sequence number. It's a sequential number, and as well as it will keep a log also. As I said, the transaction manager having the two components: log, how can I write, log manager and lock manager. Two types of log manager and lock manager. So transaction manager will assign a sequential number called LSN, log sequence number, and it will keep a log also. So it will keep two types of log. It will keep on the current transaction as well as the particular objects. Why objects? Because to prevent the data loss, actually to maintain the data consistency. Okay. So through this way, and same, once the transaction over here, it will not go to directly to data file from the transaction log to data file. Very, very important things. Once the transaction is over, it will not go directly from the transaction log to data file. It will go same like it will come to transaction manager, then access method, then buffer manager, and here buffer manager, the log writer will write the data from the buffer pool to data file once the checkpoint occurred. What is this checkpoint? So basically the checkpoint is an internal process. It's writing the data from the log buffer to data file, okay, once the checkpoint occurred. So through this way I can cover the SQL Server architecture, the relation engine, and the storage engine as well as. Okay, in a next video I will show you the select query and the DML query, how it's flowing inside the SQL Server engine. Okay, because if I will take now, it will be too complex actually. Okay, so we'll create another video for select query, and another one is for DML query. Okay, so thanks for watching.